What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sinceres here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video. We're here for February 19th, 2021's vendor reset. So let's get right into this and see what we got good for this week. For our first gear items, head over to Camp Hudson. Here the weapons vendor has a black market AK-74. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Hudson. Head over to the gear vendor here, and we got a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse crit hit damage. For our next gear items, head over to the meat locker. Here the weapons vendor has a tactical AUG A3P. For our next gear items, head over to the base of operations. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical vest with a Talent Rapid on there. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the weapons vendor, and here we got a loud vent break with 18% crit hit damage, 5.50% headshot damage, and 2% accuracy. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we got an AUG A3 Para XS. Also here we got a tactical MK16. We also here got a SASG12. Also here we got a SRSA1. We also got a mega rifle suppressor here with 17.50% headshot damage, 2% accuracy, and 3% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor, and here we got a Cassidy. We also here got a Pecan if you like to run this weapon. Also here we got a Burst Fire MP5A4 if you like this style weapon. We also here got a SRSA1. Next here we got a military M60E4. Also here we got a Spec Ops armor with the Talent Reckless on there. Next here we got a tactical pack with the Talent Inventive. Also here we got a prototype firearms mod with 262 firearms and 2% all resistance. Next here we got a prototype performance mod with 7% support station duration. Also here we got a heavy magazine spring with 4.50% reload speed, 4% crit hit damage, and 9.40% rate of fire. We also here got a small grip red with 19% crit hit damage, 2.50% stability, and 4.50% optimal range. Next here we got a CQB-SS Scope FDE with 13.50% stability, 4% crit hit damage, and 2.50% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got an electronics knee pad blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also here we got an EXP S3 holographic sight tan blueprint with a power level 34. Also here we got a vertical grip foliage green blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to the cavern. Here the gear vendor has a prototype firearms mod with 200 firearms and 3% damage to elites. And also here we got a prototype firearms mod with 264 firearms and 3% skill haste. For our next gear items, head over to Camp Clinton. Here the special equipment vendor has a Pecan if you like to run this weapon. We also here got a military SA58 if you like to run this style weapon. Next here we got a tactical SASG12K. Also here we got a SRSA1. We also here got a military RPK-74M. Next here we got a Spec Ops mask with the Talent Tenacious on there. We also here got a Spec Ops armor with the Talent Rapid. Also here we got some operator gloves with the Talent Savage on there. We also here got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% ballistic shield damage. Also here we got extended magazine with 113.50% magazine size, 4.50% reload speed, and 3% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Clinton. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a firearms glove blueprint with a gear score of 256. And also here we got a firearms hider blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to Dante's Run. Here the gear vendor has a tactical mask with the Talent Refreshed on there. For our next gear items, head over to Wolf's Den. Here the weapons vendor has a hunting M44. For our next gear items, head over to Madison Stand. Here the gear vendor has an operator mask with the Talent Enduring on there. For our next items, go to the last call. Here the weapons vendor has a small grip red with 19% crit hit damage, 5% optimal range, and 2% accuracy. For our next gear items, head over to the firewall. Here the gear vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the Talent Rehabilitated on there. For our next gear items, head over to West 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype performance mod with 7.50% turret health. For our next gear items, head over to West 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops pack with the talent Relentless on there. And also here we got a heavy magazine spring with 11% magazine size, 4% created damage, and 10% rate of fire. For our next gear items, head over to West 39th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Black Market T821. We also got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Rapid on there. For our next gear items, head over to West 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical vest with the talent Vigorous on there. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 5% pulse duration. For our next gear items, head over to West 53rd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops armor with the talent Rapid on there. For our next gear items, head over to East 64th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse crit hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to East 58th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Refreshed on there. Also here we got a tactical vest with the talent Vigorous. We also here got a tactical pack with the talent Relentless. For our next gear items, head over to the Park Ave checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone weapons vendor has a tactical ACR. And also here we got a Model 700. For our next gear items, head over to East 46th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the talent Refreshed on there. And also here we got a prototype firearms mod with 256 firearms and 1% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to East 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Gunslinger vest with the talent Vigorous on there. For our next gear items, head over to East 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a G36 enhanced. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% ballistic shield damage resilience. For our next gear items, head over to the 5th Ave checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype performance mod with 5% first aid ally heal. And then also here we got a loud vent break with 17% crit hit damage, 2.50% stability, and 2.50% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to DZ2 safe room. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the talent Enduring on there. We also got a tactical vest with the talent Rapid. Next here we got an operator pack with the talent Specialized on there. For our next gear items, head over to DZ3 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapons vendor has an MP5 ST. For our next gear items, head over to DZ5 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a large suppressor FDE with 18% crit hit damage, 4% optimal range, and 3% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to DZ8 safe room. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Enduring on there. Also here we got a Spec Ops pack with the talent Relentless. And also here we got some tactical gloves with the talent Savaged on there. For our next gear items, head over to DZ9 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a Tyrant suppressor with 7.50% crit hit chance, 5% optimal range, and 2.50% stability. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for February 19th, 2021's vendor reset. I hope everybody who tuned into it found them something that they needed. Smash out that sub and like button, y'all. I appreciate that. That's good looking out. And I'll see y'all with the next one, everybody. Take care. Peace.